What do you think is the world's largest library? Hi everyone, it's Genene, and today we have 5 yoga poses specifically for librarians while you're at work. What is the world's largest library? The Library of Congress, of course. Here's another fun fact for you. The New York Public Library lends out more than books. Do you know what else they lend out? Stay tuned for the answer. Meanwhile, let's get started. If you're a children's librarian, kids love this first one. Number 1, lion's breath, simhasana. If you're not doing this with kids, you might want to go away from patrons for this one, and you're going to find out why in a second. Traditionally, we would sit on crossed ankles, one heel in the perineum, but if you're doing this at work, sitting in a chair is probably most appropriate. First, place your hands on your knees, palms down. Press into your hands, straighten your arms, and spread your fingers wide like the claws of a lion. This will help spread your shoulders and firm them against your back to help lift the sternum. Next, open your mouth and gaze steadily at the tip of your nose. This is called Nasa Agra Drishti. As far as we know, the rest of this is a modern addition. Inhale deeply through your nose and do all of the following at the same time. To exhale, open your mouth wide, stick your tongue out as far as possible towards your chin, and exhale strongly through the mouth, making a powerful ha sound. Repeat this 4 or 6 times. Coming back to normal breath in between. If you were to have the ankles crossed, you would do 3 on one side and 3 on the other. For these next 3, you have the option to use whatever books are around you. So you get to choose. Tiny little thin books, big heavy books, stacks and stacks of books. Remembering, of course, as always, to stay safe. Number 2, Garudasana, eagle pose. If you're using books, you could put one book in each hand, or you could choose to make it a little heavier if you can put all the books in one hand. And then whatever you're doing, you're going to cross. So start, inhale, arms out to the side. And then exhale, cross, right arm over left, bend at the elbows. And then palms maybe come together, maybe they don't. But you're squeezing those arms and lifting the elbows up. Then you add the legs, or you can do it the other way around if you like doing the legs first. But you're going to put a little bend in your knees, cross, opposite. So it's the left thigh over the right. Or if you're in heels, try sitting in a chair to stay safe. If you're in flat shoes and you have balance, you lift that left foot up. You can always wrap it around your leg, but it depends on what you're wearing. Your clothes might be constricting you here. But this is a great one for balance. And you get a little bit of strengthening here with the books. Inhale to unwind, and then you exhale and you go the other way. Left thigh over right. You switch if you have the 2 books in one hand, and cross. Left arm over right, palms together, and maybe you lift that left foot up and wrap it, maybe you don't. If you want a little more work, you could always do some abdominal work. Touch the elbows to the thighs, up. Maybe fall over, maybe not. And then come up and release. Number 3, the variation. Let's call it scarecrow arms, all about arm strength. So you're going to take a book in each hand, or you could do this with no books. You're imagining these are weights. So how much weight do you want? And try to get your books even. And then take a nice solid stance with your legs. Feet underneath hip bones. This is Tadasana to start. Mountain pose. And then you bring the arms out to the sides, bend at the elbows. And the trick to this, the reason why you need instructions is it's like, okay, whatever. Oh, no, I don't feel anything. So imagine that you took 2 tables or carts underneath your elbows. And now push down strongly, energetically, isometrically with your elbows and feel the muscles around your shoulder blades work and draw those shoulder blades on your back more firmly. Standing nice and tall and straight and strong, gazing straight ahead, and you're going to hold this about a minute at a time. You have an option here to make this more challenging. Warrior 3. You could keep your arms like this. You could keep your arms out to the sides by your hips or overhead. So going straight from here, it would look like you lift the left leg, bow forwards so that your torso and your leg are parallel to the floor and you get a little workout. If you want more, you could bring these books together and stretch your arms forward and lift the arm bones up. And then set it down. And then you go to the other side. Each side, you're going to hold here for about 1 minute. Breathing deep and free in and out through your nose. So you could see how you can, simple little things, and you use the props that are around you to make it a little more challenging. Number 5 is a seated forward bend. Again, depending on whether you have a desk in front of you or no desk in front of you, it will look different. But make sure that you have space in between your legs so your legs can be wider than your hips. Hands to the thighs or hands to your desk. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, begin to bow forward. If you do not have a desk, then you would start sliding the arms very purposely through the inner thighs, stretch the arms down, and keep tilting the top rim of the pelvis forward. If it starts to lean backwards, then you've gone too far and you don't need to go any further. You're feeling the stretch, plenty of a stretch. If you have further to go and you can do it, you can grab your books again. You can stack up as many as you need. That's the great thing. You're in a library. You won't run out. So when you bow forwards, eventually, you can't touch the floor, then you take your hands to those books. And that's going to help you. You push into the books to root back and down with your sitting bones. And then depending on how deep you are, the head may lower down, or if you're not that far, then you won't have to drop the head. It won't be ready to drop. That's fine. And while you're down here for that 30 to 60 seconds, thinking about what is the craziest question a patron has ever asked you. And let it go, let it dissolve, and feel yourself if you got triggered by the question, or maybe it was funny to you, just letting it go. And then to come up, you get to choose whether you need to take your hands to your legs to help you come up, or if you want to use more abdominals, pulling the low belly up, tailbone roots down, getting heavier and heavier in the sitting bones so that you can then rise up. And I can't wait to hear in the comments about those crazy questions that patrons have asked you. I know they're out there. I've heard. Can't wait to hear what they are, though, you know? Did you figure out what the New York Public Library lends besides books? It turns out that members can also borrow neckties and briefcases. Perfect to help people nail that very important job interview. And join us next time where we will show 5 yoga poses healthcare providers can do while you're at work. Thank you so much for joining me. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.